What's up, folks? Y'all know what it is. Nikki Triplet here. That damn trip because you're on my page. And today, I'm sorry I had to look over. I got my computer set up right there. It is April the 3rd. Y'all, can y'all believe that? It is already April the 3rd. I could have swore that we was doing this the other day. It was like January. The second week of January. But if you're on the page right now, it is Monday, April the 3rd. And y'all know what this is. Motivational Monday today brought to you by. Now, I'm not even going to say brought to you by anymore. This Motivational Monday is powered by the Women's Connection and the Daily Connect. I say powered by because, man, every time I do these, first of all, when I'm preparing for my Daily Connect or one of my Facebook Lives, I get this charge, I get this energy. I get so pumped up. And even when I'm making my little graphic, my hands are like shaking. And it gives me this energy. And I know that when I'm relaying a message, it could be so powerful. And it gives me a sense of having power that I can give this blessing to somebody else. So that's what I'm saying from here on out. This is Motivational Mondays powered by the Women's Connection and the Daily Connect. And for everybody jumping on Motivational Monday, it's April the 3rd. Today I'm going to be talking about cupcake pre-bake. I know y'all have no idea what that means, but trust me, it's going to be the coolest thing of how I learned the cupcake pre-bake. I'm going to tell you how I learned it and what my little strategy is. And then I'm going to tell you how I took the cupcake pre-bake and I was teaching a team. We were going all across America. And if you're just jumping on, this is Nikki Triplet. We're on Motivational Mondays, powered by the Women's Connection and Daily Connect. If y'all don't know why I'm laughing, when you catch the replay, you'll understand why I'm laughing. But from now on, I'm going to be powered by. But anyway, we're talking about the cupcake pre-bake and how you can take your business, team, leadership, all of that to like whole new level by the cupcake pre-bake. So let me tell you a little bit about the cupcake pre-bake. And I'm hoping that Susan Triplet, can't say my mom, but I'm hoping that my mom jumps on here so she can be a testament to this. But be first, hey, Unique. I see some hey trips. Hey, Unique. My mom just jumped on. Susan jumped on. So it's good that she's on here because she can testify to my cupcake pre-bake story. Y'all are going to get it. Sipo, thank you for jumping on. Susan, I see you. You're kind of in here. Okay, cool. Kind of in here. But for people who are just jumping on, it is April the 3rd. It was just, I could have swore yesterday, it was just January the 3rd. That's how fast this year is going. And some of us have gotten with the Daily Connect, the Women's Connection, other groups. Some people have started life in a new direction, and we're getting on here for some motivation. And we're trying to find out how to take our team and our leadership, our life, our relationships, our strategies, our business, our kids, how to take your kids to the next level. Your kids are going to love the cupcake pre-bake strategy. So when I was young, I'm going to tell y'all some personal information. And if you're just jumping on, this is that damn trip on the Daily Connect, powered by the Women's Connection. Motivational Monday. When I was a kid, no secret, I was kind of poor. We were kind of broke. So I still wanted the flyest of everything. So I started trying to figure out back to school time, how I could get money for school, back to school, shoes, Jordans. And even when I was young, way back when, Jordans were just now coming out in style. It was like his first year. So we were a little bit poor, we were a little bit broke, but I always had this hustle mentality. So I said, you know what? I'm going to have a back to school bake sale. That's what I decided. Out of all the things that I could come up with, I said, man, this is how I'm going to get my money, because I was a hustler back then. Everybody loved sweets. And no offense, not telling anybody's business, but I lived around some hippies. So I knew that if I baked some stuff, I would sell out. It's kind of the story of my life right now. But anyway, so as a kid, I said, I'm going to have some bake sales. And if you're just jumping on, this is Nikki Triplet, that damn trip. We're talking about the power of the cupcake pre-bake and how it took my leadership, my hustle, all my business to a totally different level. So when I was young, like I said, I would have these bake sales. And I said, well, I'm going to sell cupcakes. I had cupcakes, brownies, cookies, a whole bunch of things. But before I baked them, my grandmother sometimes, my aunt, Christmas time, all those times before I was a hustler, this is how I learned to bake. My grandmother would make me get out the instructions and the directions and, set everything aside. The flour, she would make me measure out. the yeast at that time, because I'm a little bit older. We had to put the yeast out. You know what I'm saying? The butter, sugar, all the good things, the sprinkles, the icing. And so we would measure everything out. First thing she taught me is everything has to have its certain amounts. So if you're jumping on, I know you think I'm talking about cupcakes, and I am. And I'm talking about how the cupcake pre-bake can take your life, your business, your team, your leadership, and all that to a totally different level. So she was telling me, measure it out. And when you measure it out, make sure you take the time to sample each ingredient. And I was like, okay, cool. As a kid, I had no problem sampling. So during the cupcake pre-bake, we would measure, get out the different ingredients, set them all aside, and she let me taste them so I could see what each one of them tastes like. I would taste the flour and, damn, big mother, why you got me eating flour? I didn't understand. That was terrible. But at the same time, she would let me taste the sugar. And if you're just jumping on, I'm not talking about sugar. I'm talking about the cupcake pre-bake. This is That Damn Trip Motivational Monday, powered by the Women's Connection. And we're talking about how the cupcake pre-bake can take your life, business, strategies, kids, all to a whole nother level. So let's go back to the pre-bake. She would let me taste the flour, and I'm like, why you give me flour, big mother? Come on now. I don't want to eat no flour. But then she would let me taste the sugar. Oh, I love sugar, big mother. Let's do that part again. But no, you can only taste a little bit because we need this much. Then she would let me taste the butter. I would taste the butter. I was like, oh, big mother, butter tastes kind of weird. It's not like when you put it on toast. And she was like, I know. You got to taste all the different parts separately so that you'll know that if you put too much of one thing, how overwhelming it could taste. Or if you taste your cupcakes and they taste kind of bad or they taste kind of powdery, we just tasted that flour. You'll know what you put too much of or too little of to get your cupcakes. So when it comes out, right or wrong, you'll know what you did. So if you're jumping on, you might be understanding where I'm going with this. And if you're catching the replay, you might understand where I'm going with this. We're talking about the cupcake pre-bake and how it can take your life, business, strategies, relationships to a totally different level. So anyway, Big Mother would let me taste them all separately. And like I said, I was a poor kid. I learned to hustle, and I didn't want to have no shady cupcakes. I didn't want to have no extra powdery cupcakes. I didn't want to have no, extra sugary to where diabetics couldn't have my cupcakes. I wanted the perfect cupcake because I'm trying to get J's. I'm trying to hustle them to buy Jordans. So once I learned the pre-bake, I learned that you mix certain things in slowly. Other things don't take as much, like vanilla. If you was to put as much vanilla in your cupcakes as you was to put flour, man, first of all, they would never rise. Second of all, you'd be having straight up vanilla cakes. You might as well just scrape the bean. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be cupcakes. You would have too much of this and not enough of that. And so that's why the pre-bake is so important. So fast forward. I'm a manager the first time in my life. I got a team. I got to take my team to success. And I'm trying to think, what can I do? And they gave me all these different personalities that I didn't know. And like any other manager, you just kind of throw them in together. And if you're just jumping on right now, or if you happen to be catching a replay, I'm into the juice of how I learned the cupcake pre-bake can help with teams, businesses, paychecks. Because my team was dependent upon my paycheck, and my paycheck was dependent on the performance of my team. So when I got my team and the different personalities and the different strategies and the different strengths that my team had, I just threw them all together and we went out to work. And I said, man, I'm a manager. I know I can whip this thing up and it's going to be successful. And my team bombed because I had all these different personalities, all these different strengths and weaknesses. And you know what I didn't do? I didn't do the cupcake pre-bake on them. So if you're just jumping on and you're hearing me talking about the cupcake pre-bake, right now we're in the point of how I show you how my cupcake pre-bake that I learned as a hustling broke kid can transform your business, your life, your team, and your leadership. So as I was saying, my first time having a team, I just took the flour, the butter, the sugar, and I just threw it all together. My team, I took Jacob, I took Marcus, I took myself, I took Wendy, and I just threw us all together and mixed it all up and threw us out into a tent and said, let's go be successful. And it didn't work. And I didn't understand. And so then I stepped outside of the tent. Basically, I stepped outside of the oven and I looked in and I was trying to see how these cupcakes was baking, how my team was rising or not rising. And I started to notice I hadn't gotten a piece of what Jacob tastes like at the beginning. I hadn't stuck my finger over and dipped it in and swirled it around and see how Wendy complimented or took away from the team like the vanilla extract. I had learned the strategy as a kid. I had learned to measure out my ingredients and see where they were to be properly placed to have the best cupcakes. But when I was doing my team and was trying to be successful, do you know I didn't measure out anything? I didn't taste anything. I didn't learn Marcus's strengths. I didn't see where Jacob made the team sour, and so I added too much. I did none of the pre-bake. None of it. I didn't separate the ingredients. And it is so crazy. So I stepped back and I said, you know what, man, I've been doing this as a kid. I was hustling as a kid, but I was hustling ingredients. So I decided, what did I do to make my cupcakes good? I did the pre-bake. So from that day forward in my hotel room, I said, you know what, I'm going to do something as simple as the cupcake pre-bake on my team. I pulled Jacob aside, and me and Jacob didn't even know each other. We had just met and was thrown together. I said, Jacob, hey, man, what do you add? I never even asked you about sales. What's your strength? If you're just jumping on, if you're catching a replay, we are in the mixing part. We are deep in the bowl of how the cupcake pre-bake took my leadership and my sales and my team to #1 in the country. I learned to separate out the ingredients. I said, Jacob, what can you do? I've been forcing you to sell, dish, and you might be better at selling AT&T phone service. What can you do? And Jacob told me what he was supposed to add to the cupcakes of the team. And I said, okay, cool. That makes sense. And so then I went back out and I found another ingredient, Marcus, which would probably be my flour, or which would probably be your butter. I said, Marcus, say, man, separate. Ain't nobody got to hear this. What do you add to the cupcakes? Marcus told me, man, I'm sweet like ice and I'm so smooth I can just lay on the thick. You put me at the closing end after you done caught them, I promise you I'll get them. I understand y'all know where I'm going with this. Marcus was like my chocolate chip, or Marcus was like my icing. And the craziest thing is I had been using Marcus like flour. I'm wondering why Marcus ain't rising up the sales, and that's not his job. Marcus is the sweet one. Marcus was the one that was supposed to attract. He was the candy of the cupcake when I had been using him as the flour. And I wonder why the cupcakes was tasting like. You get it. Unique. I'm glad you're on. Elena, I know in sales you see where I'm going with this. The cupcake pre-bake. When I was young, my big mother said, take the time, measure out the ingredients, see what they add or take away from your cupcakes. And what I'm telling y'all right now is when I took the time to learn my ingredients, Marcus, Jacob, Wendy, myself, when I took the time to learn our sweetness, our sournesses, yes, I made that up. When I took the time to learn which one of us actually made the team rise and the other one that was just a compliment on the top, man, I promise you, I started treating them all separate but equal. Meaning, I started pumping Jacob up by himself over here the same way I measured my flour, because it took a lot more flour than it did sugar to rise. Then I started waiting and keeping Wendy as my secret ingredient, like the vanilla, because most people have no idea that vanilla is in cupcakes, even in chocolate cupcakes. Shh, I'm giving you a few secrets. There's vanilla in there, and the taste of it is so powerful, but yet so tricky that you have no idea most of the time it's in there. If you're just jumping on, or if you're catching a replay, learn to use the cupcake pre-bake. So when I started using just enough of Wendy to compliment, she was the only girl. I didn't need much of her. We're women. Most of us are women on here. Y'all know what a little bit of us will do. A little bit of us goes a long way, just like vanilla. When I started measuring them all out separately in the morning, giving Jacob his team pump by himself, giving him the few little things he needed in his ear, giving Wendy the little extra sweetness that she needed by herself, telling Marcus, you stay in the back. You're not my flour. You're my secret weapon. Don't come out till it's time to ice in this situation. Then I started bringing us all together like in the mixing bowl for one team meeting. See, they didn't need to know what I told the flour. The icing didn't need to know what the vanilla needed to know. All they needed to know is once we mixed them up and put it together, they were cupcakes. My team meeting started being separate but equal. I would pump Jacob up the way he needed. I would pump Wendy up, and then I would bring us all together like Walmart in the middle of the aisle and be like, team, this is what we're going to do. Cupcakes on 3. See, nobody had to see the pre-bake. And if you're just jumping on, your pre-bake is what you do when you're building your business. It's what you do when you're operating your family life. You got to treat the ingredients separate. You might have that little boy that's sensitive, and you can't do him the same way you do his old smooth as icing sister. You got to learn to take him aside, give him the little sweetness that he needs because he's flour. He doesn't have that sweetness already. But you make him feel like he does. And then when you add him with the sweetness, the other child or the other team member or the other part of the business that you need, bam, you show them the beautifulness of the cupcake. You let them both enjoy it. And then they see the parts that they played in it. You let them know, baby, this cupcake wouldn't have rose without a pinch of your flour. Honey, you know this icing wouldn't have been as good. We would not have gotten this sales presentation. We would not have hit 12K, 40K. We would not be walking across the stage with those big checks, and that's what we're all aspiring to do. If we wouldn't have had vanilla, if we wouldn't have had flour, if we wouldn't have had our lead magnet, if we wouldn't have had our email attractor, if we wouldn't have had our Facebook Live down together, if we wouldn't have had the babysitter, the nanny, the baby daddy, all of that, those are the ingredients. Y'all see where I'm going with this? Learn. If you are just jumping on, or if you stayed here to the end, first of all, I commend you. You should be good cupcake bakers after this. But at the same time, it doesn't matter where you are in your business. If you're a new mom, if this is your third baby, we can always learn something about how vanilla could just add a little bit extra to a cupcake. How a little less flour can make it rise a little faster. The same things can be put into your business. All you have to do is break down the pieces. See what you need more of. See what comes naturally. See what you need less of. See if you don't have enough butter, where you can substitute some oil. But you can't just go in and start throwing ingredients, mixing stuff together, not knowing how much you need, and then wondering why your cupcakes aren't rising, wondering why your business isn't working, wondering why your family is still at the level, wondering why your finances hasn't gotten any higher. And if you're just jumping on, yes, I am motivating you with the power of separating the ingredients for your cupcakes, separating the ingredients of your sales team, separating the ingredients of your families. Team on 3 and then break. This is Nikki Triplett. I just want y'all to know I have a way of thinking that is so crazy. And if you're on the replay and you're like, what is she talking about with cupcakes? I'm talking about the cupcake pre-bake. I'm talking about when I was young, how I learned to separate the ingredients and make the best cupcakes when you bring them all together. But you got to know what's enough of what and what's too much of the other. You can't have 50 million emails and nothing to send them. Does that make any kind of sense? You'll never get any cupcakes out of 6 cups of flour. So, this is Nikki Triplett. That damn trip. We're going to do roll call time, man. Y'all know what this is. First of all, I got a crazy announcement. It's April 3rd, the 1st April. And you know what else it is? Today is the kickoff of the Daily Connect Facebook Live Challenge. The Women's Connection, this group that I'm doing this for. We are a group of powerful women. Y'all have seen us for the past couple of months now. I really don't have to go into it, but if you're catching the replay, I'm going to go into it because there might be somebody new on here. We're the Women's Connection. We're a group of women that get together every day. We're in chats. We're in a private group on Facebook. And guess what else we are? We're free to join. We encourage each other. We talk about cupcake pre-bakes. I might jump in and be like, Denise, you too damn sweet sometimes. Throw in some flour and then people will kind of understand. That's what I do. I might jump in, taste her cupcakes and tell her where her ingredients are wrong. I'm her sous chef. That's what the Women's Connection is. It's a group of kitchen collectors, kitchen beauticians, kitchen masters, kitchen magicians. See, I'm getting all hype. But we help each other with the ingredients. We are all women. It's private, but it's free. We keep it private so these dudes don't lurk in on our situation. We keep it private so the things that we talk about can be private. But we are so public, and we are starting a Facebook Live group. Challenge, to encourage women on here. Get out there. Get live. Talk about your cupcake pre-bake. And if you're just jumping on here, you're on the most powerful time. Watch the replay and learn about the cupcake pre-bake. But also, you are in time to learn about today is the kickoff of our Facebook Live challenge. If you want to know more, drop me a message. Drop anyone on here a message. How do I get in that challenge you talking about? Tell me about measuring out the ingredients. What the hell was she talking about cupcakes, and how does that relate to my bad kids that I can't understand? Ask it in the comments. And somebody on here, whoever shared this, they'll answer it for you, and they'll get you the link to get in with us. Again, this is Nikki Tripp with That Damn Trip. This is Monday Motivation. It's the first Monday of April, but it's also the first day of the challenge. Facebook Live, Daily Connect, the Women's Connection. We are doing all that. If you want to be a part of it, ask somebody, drop me a message and say, Trip, send me this link, man. I need to bake some cupcakes. And I got you. Send me the link and say, man, I am struggling in my life, my business. My kids get on my nerves. Send me a private message and say, whatever it is you're talking about, I want to be a part of it. I like the likes, the loves, and the crazy faces too. I want the support on my videos too. And we'll get you connected, because you know what this is? It's the Daily Connect. This is where we connect you to us daily. This is where we connect you to a better life daily. This is where we give you some piece of a connection to financial freedom, to mental freedom, to stress freedom, to relationship freedom daily. And you hear the part about freedom? Free. Connect with us free. I'm out of here, man. This is the first Monday of April, and I am so fired up. Thank y'all for being on here. It's roll call time. Whoop, whoop. Christy, hoorah. Y'all make sure and go check out Christy Allen's page. She is military, PTSD, anybody struggling with anything emotional. And if you got some bad dogs and you don't know how to whip them up some cupcakes, holla at Christy. Elena, man, she is my shero. As much as she says I'm her shero, man, she keeps me on track. Elena is a hell of a salesperson. And if you need to know anything about sales and time management, holla at Elena. Get on her page. Aisha, whoop, whoop. Aisha is bouncing back. If you want to know about strength, and if you want to know about anything techie, y'all go hit Aisha's page. She's on here. She's in the comments. This is the Daily Connect. This is the Women's Connection. I'm telling you, so unique. I'm calling her that because I want you to go check out her business page. I'm connecting all women. So Unique Fitness. If y'all need any videos, if y'all need to learn to lose that little fupa, I'll let her tell you what the fupa is. Check out So Unique Fitness. Everybody else on here, man, I'm taking up too much time. Cupcake pre-bake. Use it with your teams. Use it with your kids. Use it with your business. Hell, use it with your cupcakes and tell me how it worked out. Daily Connect, Monday Motivation, That Damn Trip. I look forward to the rest of the week for the Daily Connect, and I look forward to winning the Facebook Live Challenge. If you don't know what I'm talking about, drop a message and I'll get you plugged in. Y'all see I'm sweating. Gotta go. That means I done went too hard. It's time to do some cupcakes. I'm out this thing.